My name is Kiana Henry. I serve as the Assistant Director of Student Activities at North Carolina A&T. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the Office of Student Activities and campus involvement and what we do on our campus. So I will start to share my screen now. All right, so student activities. We serve as a guide for all students to help shape and mold and most of all, enhance their Aggie Pride experience while on campus. We as a team and unit design and support programs that are of course educational. We also have cultural programs, intellectual programs, social programs, recreational programs, all to cultivate and foster interactions among the student population and surrounding community. So we do all big major events on campus that are student-centered, including homecoming that happens every fall, Aggie Fest, which happens every spring, which is a smaller version of homecoming, all to increase cognitive abilities and enhancing leadership skills through involvement. And we have a big five on campus that we like to call our big organizations, and those include our Student Government Association, our Council of Presidents, our Joint Greek Council, the Student University Activities Board, and our Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, which is our quiz bowl team. So I'll go into depth about each of those organizations, just to kind of let you know about the prime organizations we advise in our office, and then I'll say a few more things. So just meeting the people that do all of these awesome and great things or help the students build those abilities is our leader, Rashonda Lowry. She's the Executive Director of Student Activities. She oversees the homecoming, the Aggie Fest, our leadership awards at the end of the year, and our assessment in the office. Then there's me. I advise our programming board, which is the Student University Activities Board. I also advise the Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, which was that quiz bowl team I just mentioned. And I do other things, including summer programming. So there a lot of students take summer school on campus. So of course they need some activities when they get out of class as well. So I do all of our summer programs on campus. I do off-campus trips. I also work with really any special fun holidays or quirky things that we do. So for instance, we just finished Pi Day. Pi Day was on Monday, which was March 14th, 3.14. And we just passed out free pizza and let students make their own little small individual pies just to celebrate Pi Day, just quirky and fun things like that. Then we have Miss Veronica Hairston. She is also the other assistant director, and she advises the Student Government Association. So we want to make sure those that are advocates and want to be advocates for our students, they have a lot they're able to do on campus, and that also includes Mr. and Miss A&T in all of the Royal Court, Miss Freshman, Mr. Freshman, Miss Sophomore, Mr. Sophomore, etc. We are currently in search for our Joint Greek Council Advisor, which is the third assistant director, to be over our fraternities and sororities. And then we have a coordinator of our student clubs and organizations that advise our Council of Presidents. And we have about 162 organizations on campus right now. And then the one that keeps us all together, our office manager, Miss Knight, who handles a lot of things budget-wise and anything else that we need. Miss Knight comes to our rescue. So first up is the Student Government Association. So the SGA purpose is an outgrowth of the Student Council of North Carolina A&T, which was restructured in 1935 from an earlier organization by the same name. So the focus of the SGA will be to bring change by amplifying student voices and enhancing student political engagement. Our president's name is Burden Julius, and he helps transform us and have a transformational year this year. So SGA is your official voice of students, and they promote governance, advocacy, and action. And there at the bottom, you will see their Instagram information and their Twitter information, as well as their email. They're very active on all social platforms. Really, all of our groups are. So if you ever have a question or want to see some of the things that SGA has done, the Instagram and Twitter would be a great place for you, but we also will take emails. The Student University Activities Board is the primary student organization responsible for carrying out planning and implementation and fulfillment of activities for the students. The purpose is to plan and present an array of social, cultural, and recreational programs for our community. Some of the example programs we've done in the past is our block party, which is coming up next month. Fake it till you make it, which is more of a lip sync competition. Shoot Your Shot is our Valentine's social where you can come and find your Aggie love or a new group of friends. We always do a food truck festival where we try to get a lot of food trucks on campus so students can see the different surrounding food trucks in the Greensboro area. We do pre-games before our home football and sometimes basketball games just to get students some free food, some free fun and action before they go root on our Aggies in the football or basketball arenas. We have our annual Tiny Desk concert, our Cypher, grocery bingo, crank and paint, which is actually like more of a trap and paint where students can come and just enjoy themselves, dancing, listening to great music while they're painting and showing off their craft. One of the events we just did last night was Aggie Cinema, where we polled our campus to see what movie they would love to enjoy as a campus community. Believe it or not, they picked the movie House Party. So we all went into Harrison Auditorium yesterday and watched House Party all together, had about 300 students out. And then we had food trucks outside for them to enjoy food as well. So once again, they just do a lot of programming on campus just to keep our students engaged outside of the classroom. The Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, we are the 2021 national champions. I have to toot our horn. We are the first ever academic competition between all HBCUs. So every HBCU has a Honda Campus All-Star Challenge. So pictured here is your 2021 national champions, which are actually currently in the tournament for the 2022 national championship. We competed last Sunday, and now we have made it to the Super 16. Out of 64 schools that started on last Sunday, we made it to the Super 16, and tomorrow we go for the Elite 8. So wish on our Honda Campus All-Star Challenge. But once again, this is a quiz bowl team, basically where we answer questions about sports, we answer questions about geography, we answer questions about human anatomy, we answer questions about you name it, all in a trivia style competition against all HBCUs. All right, Council of Presidents and our student clubs and organizations. So the Council of Presidents is really the liaison or umbrella organization that assists, governs, and advocates for all of our registered student organizations. Like I said, we have over 160 registered student organizations. So that's all of our clubs and student groups. There are academic clubs, religious clubs, hometown clubs. So we saw where people are in the chat. So for instance, there is Metro Aggies for the DMV area. There is New Jersey Aggies. There is Georgia Aggies. There are Georgia Aggies, but every hometown really or home state may have a club for them for students to be able to find their niche. There's also cultural clubs, special interest clubs, club sports, and more. But the COP just makes sure that they have everything they may need for budget-wise in regards to creating a budget and sticking to that budget. They offer workshops on constitutions. They offer workshops on how to be a great secretary. They offer so many different types of workshops and things that all student organizations need to know. And if you're interested in starting a new organization, the Council of Presidents will be there to assist you with that as well. So we do have a platform named 1891 Connect, 1891 Connect. That link is at the very bottom of the page on the screen. So 1891connect.ncat.edu will show you all of the student organizations that we have that are registered and what events are coming up on campus. Currently, in the time that we are in, we're not able to access 1891 Connect due to internet issues. But once that is up and running, you'll be able to take that website and see everything that you would like to see. And then fraternity and sorority engagement. So if you're interested in maybe joining one of our organizations on campus in the fraternity and sorority world, this would be the slide to listen to. So the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Engagement strives to create a safe and healthy community environment that provides educational programs for fraternities, sororities, social fellowships, and establishes parameters for appropriate activities and behaviors, and standardizes the process for the facilitation of new member activities, and serves as a liaison between the organization's headquarters and the campus community. So people always ask and call our office, so what do I need to do to join a great group? Well, the first thing, of course, we always say is do your research. Go ahead and research the different groups that are on campus and where you think you would find your best niche and your best fit in. Then you also have to attend a Get the Gist. The Get the Gist stands for Greek, or GIST stands for Greek Information Session at T. So basically you'll be finding out all of the organizations that are having intake that current semester, and then finding out what their requirements are to join them. So that's the GIST, the Greek Information Session at T. The GIST is offered virtually and in person throughout the school year. We also like to say, though, that we only take new members in the community in spring semester. We do not do fall lines at North Carolina A&T. So spring semester is the time to join a fraternity or sorority, but there are events and informational things all throughout the year so that you're prepared for when spring semester hits. There's also a Meet the Greeks, where you can come on out and meet every Greek organization on campus in kind of like a fair or campus fair, student organization fair type of style, and just talk with them and hear what they're about. They always do National Hazing Prevention Week in the fall and in September. They do a men's and women's appreciation events. They do Unity Week. Of course, we do community service, different initiatives and partnerships. And then we also train our Greek organizations as well on things that I just mentioned previously, like budgeting, making sure that you're doing the right things for your members, et cetera. Other membership requirements include a 2.5 cumulative GPA, but some organizations may require 2.7 or 3.0. So once again, doing your research will give you all of that information you need, but I know for sure a 2.5 is the minimum for all groups. Successfully passed 12 credit hours the previous semester. So once again, I just mentioned that membership intake takes place during the spring semester. So fall semester, you must have passed 12 credit hours. Of course, maximum intake class is 45 students, and no more than 50% can be legacy applicants. 50% meaning, or legacy meaning someone in your family is also a member of that organization. That makes you a legacy. So once again, maximum intake class, we only take up to 45 students. Some schools may take 100 new members in one organization, but NCAT, we do 45. And then of course, required attendance at one of the several Get the Gist sessions during the year. Feel free to follow them at NCAT_FSE on Instagram and Twitter. There are also some fun facts and statistics on the infographic on your screen. But yes, we have a lot of awards that we won. There are 13 current active chapters, over 100 years of service. And of course, for spring 19, the Greek average was a 3.14 for cumulative. But any questions you have, you can always email greeklife@ncat.edu. And also I'll be here to answer questions at the end of our session. So that is our contact information on the screen for the actual Office of Student Activities. Our phone number, our email, osa@ncat.edu, our website, Twitter, Instagram, and we do have a Facebook. So please feel free to follow and turn on those post notifications so you can see all of the different great things that all of our groups and our office does. So now I will say thank you. Feel free to start putting your questions into the chat, but I will also now pass it over to our wonderful and successful friends in the Center for Academic Excellence.
Hi, everybody. I'm Anjan Basu. I'm one of the academic advisors over in the Center for Academic Excellence. And my colleague, I think she's below me. I don't know where we're at on the Zoom screen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Antia Dion Caldwell. I am an academic advisor and college success instructor within the Center for Academic Excellence. Thank you, Kiana, for that introduction. And we are going to, give me just a second, I'll pull up our presentation so we can get started. Okay, so yes, we are the Center for Academic Excellence, and we are the hub for student success on campus. What we do in the Center for Academic Excellence is we basically make sure that all new students are successful in transitioning from high school to college, or are successful just transitioning to A&T as a whole. So we work with transfer students, new freshmen, undeclared students specifically. Mr.
So, I'm sorry. So, the Center for Academic Excellence, the picture that you see right there, that's our actual building. So, you know, when you guys get on campus, you'll be able to identify it. Our mission statement is basically to communicate the university's student success priorities. That's a fancy way of saying that A&T has made a committed effort to make sure that all of our students come in as freshmen, they leave as graduating seniors, and they come out, you know, balanced human beings at the end of the day, right? So we are here to make sure that you as students know that the university is committed to your success, right? Step one in doing that is to foster undergraduate achievement. Basically, we want our undergrad students to achieve at the highest levels possible in all of their individual endeavors, right? If you're into nuclear physics, I mean, don't come to me because I won't be able to help you out on that one. But if you're into nuclear physics, we want you to be the very best at nuclear physics. Theater, we want you to be the best, right? And then the third thing that we do, and this is where we really come into play, is that we monitor academic progress. We have various instruments in place. We want to make sure that you guys are performing academically at a level consistently across the board. Next slide. So our goal, we are a team of professional advisors. All of us in CAE have been trained. We all are highly educated in this particular form. We are familiar with the best practices in this field, right? Our goal as academic advisors is to equip students with the success skills and learning support, which helps them to A, chart efficient learning paths. What's your major? What profession would you like to end up as when you get done? There's a path that we have to kind of draw out, right? So this way you know how to make it the next 4 years. We want you to achieve your academic goals. That also means that you need to have academic goals to begin with. And then we want you to become productive citizens and global contributors to our society. They say that Aggie Pride is worldwide, and everywhere I've ever been in the world, I've worn an A&T shirt, and I'd hear an Aggie Pride from across the parking lot, in the airport, whatever, right? We take this Aggie Pride thing very, very seriously. And the thing that we're the most prideful about is that if you graduated from A&T, you're probably really good at what you do wherever you are. And that's the main thing, right? Next slide.
So I mentioned earlier that we are the hub for student success, and the way we do this is through academic advising, academic support, and student success. With academic advising, we have SAEEP, which stands for Student Athletic Enhancement Enrichment Program. These are the academic coaches to all the athletes on campus, and they assist these students to make sure that they're eligible to play, that they're meeting NCAA guidelines, and that they maintain a GPA as they're going through A&T and matriculating as students. We also teach the college success course. I saw a question in the chat earlier about the freshman studies course. It is a graduation requirement. Every student does have to take a freshman studies course before they graduate. So if you didn't transfer in that credit, you will have to take it when you arrive. The course may be different based on the major that you're in, but a student success course is required, and freshman studies 101 is the one that we teach in our department. And then academic monitoring, as my colleague mentioned, every quarter there will be a alert that is sent out to all academic advisors on campus. So if a student is performing below that C average or has excessive absences, they will be alert, their advisors will be alerted, and then those intervention meetings can begin so that students can pass that course, because that is our goal at the end of the day, is to make sure everyone is successful. Mr. Basu, would you like to share a little bit about academic support?
Sure. Basically, we have come to find out over the years of studying how specifically our freshmen are doing in their classes. And we found that not only do you have to be being a good student is more than just being able to take tests well, right? There are some times where students are going to need a little bit of background help outside of the classroom. So that's what tutoring and supplemental instruction is, right? If you're taking a particular class that you're studying, it's just not necessarily clicking for you. Maybe talking to someone outside of the formal classroom relationship will be a benefit. So that's where tutoring comes into play, which is slightly different than supplemental instruction, which is, I was in today's class, but the lecture didn't quite sit in, I didn't get it the way I needed to. I need to hear it one more time kind of thing, right? And then we've also got mentoring. And mentoring is something that we're really big on here at A&T, especially for our freshmen. So maybe sometimes the issues that you experience outside of the classroom can affect your performance in the classroom. And some of these life things, you may not want to come talk to me as your academic advisor. You don't want to talk to your professor. You want to talk to somebody that's not official, if that makes sense, right? This is where mentoring comes into play. We have mentoring programs for our male freshmen. We have mentoring programs for our female freshmen in specific programs. And then we also have a first-year experience mentoring program. You will be paired with a junior or senior that has been trained. We have a special program. We have a partnership with a company, a third-party company called Mentor Collective, and they've got an app. It's seamless and it's awesome. But basically, we're going to try to give you as much support in the classroom, outside the classroom, and then on campus life, if you will. So that covers all of these the three forms of academic support.
Student success. So not only do we provide our students with the tutoring they need, the advising they need, the supplemental instruction and mentoring they need, but we have student success programs that students can be involved in. The IB Success Academy is our summer bridge program. The students will come in if they are North Carolina residents, that's our target population. They want to start A&T as a freshman, they can apply to the ASA program. They will be on campus for about 5 weeks during the second summer session. They take 7 credit hours. They earn, 7 credit hours. So they'll be taking African American history, English 100, and college success. They'll be paired with an academic advisor and academic mentor. They'll have tutoring while they're in that program, take a series of math workshops so that they can prepare for their first math course. But we also have some social engagement in there too. So we take our students on trips, they get involved in different events that are on campus, and they're able to build those relationships with one another. So the overall purpose of this program is to ensure that students can start their freshman year being already acclimated to the university, already having friends, and already have that GPA so that they can have a successful first year. We also have the Gear Up for Success program. So if you are a student in high school that's a part of the Gear Up for Success program, you will remain in that program your freshman year. And that is housed under the Center for Academic Excellence. And we offer Marching to Success, which is the support for our Blue and Gold Marching Machine members. So every student that's part of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine will take college success together as a cohort their freshman year, and they receive academic coaching throughout their first 2 years. So those are the 3 main student success programs that we have within the center. So that does conclude our overview. As you can see, we do quite a bit in the center, but we are located in the academic classroom building, which is dead smack in the center of campus near the clock tower. We're in Suite 322, and we are available 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Those are our handles, and you can find out all information that we do, academic recovery sessions, different workshops, and motivation to stay focused during the academic year. Now we want to open the floor for any questions.
So I see in the chat, there's a couple of questions. The most pertinent one I would say first is, how do you get assigned an academic advisor? That's a great question. So this is the way it works. When you come in through the admissions portal, I mean, you've applied, you've been accepted, you come in. They will ask you what your major choices will be, right? And so if based upon your SAT, ACT scores, stuff like that, you get into, oh no, well, you get into the major and that department has advisors for you, right? If you come in and you are undeclared, meaning that you've got a couple of options on the table and you're not sure which one to choose, then your FRST 101 instructor will be your academic advisor because it'll be someone from the Center for Academic Excellence, right? So you don't necessarily have to get an advisor. Your advisor will come and find you, so to speak, if that makes sense. So that answers that first question. Ms. Caldwell, would you like to take the one about study abroad as a transfer student?
Yes, so we have the International Affairs Department, it's International Affairs, Office of International Affairs. They're actually in our building as well. So that's where you can find information to study abroad. So you can go on the A&T website and you can see the information to contact someone in the International Affairs Office, and they can provide you information about studying abroad. I also saw a question about tutoring being online. We most recently started offering face-to-face in the library. You will have to schedule that through Upswing. So when you all start school, we use a platform called Upswing, which offers 24/7 tutoring, which is online and in person. You're welcome. Oh, there was a question about the Dean's List. You do not have to be in the honors department to earn a spot on the Dean's List. As long as you are enrolled in 12 credit hours and have earned a 3.25 or higher without any D's or F's, you can earn a spot on the Dean's List. And if you have a 3.75 without D's and F's and are a full-time student enrolled in 12 or more hours, you can earn a spot on the Chancellor's List. Mm. Thank you, Ms. Deeprue, for providing the International Affairs contact information.
And to the question of expecting contact and when do you select your classes? So basically, after you're admitted, you go through your new student orientation, and it is during this orientation that we will get you signed up for your classes depending on your major, right? Now, there are a set of classes called general education required classes. Those are classes that every A&T student has to take regardless of major, right? And so what we try to do is we try to sprinkle in a couple of those gen ed classes with your major classes or your intended major classes, right, if you're undeclared. And that's when you'll be able to, during orientation is when you get into those classes and you'll find out where you're going to land. Right. Once we find out where you're going to land within the first, like maybe, I don't know, let's say 3 weeks of the semester is pretty much when your academic advisors will be assigned to you. And yeah, I think that answers all those questions.
Unless you're undeclared. And if you're undeclared, then your college success instructor is your academic advisor. So if you're undeclared, it might be myself or Mr. Basu or whoever teaches your freshman studies course.
And some of the questions I saw in the chat for my area, are you limited to how many organizations you want to be involved with? And the answer is no, but I will say as a new student to A&T and just someone just trying to make sure you're well-rounded, you cannot involve yourself into too much, or I would say you should not involve yourself. You should be able to really be able to focus on studies, create that friend group, find that niche on campus through organizations, but not want to be president or vice president of 8 different organizations all at the same time. Because we want to, one, make sure that you are able to fully enjoy your experience, and being pulled to stretch too thin is not a great thing. So we just want to make sure that you're finding your niche with as many friend groups as possible, but still try to, be smart about who uses our time or who we give our time to. In regards to just doing so much, because there's always something to do on campus. There is literally always something to do. So we just want to make sure that we're staying focused on our academics, but also having a good time and a well-rounded time. Another question I saw is, do you know any Aggie Fest events taking place this year? Why, yes, I do. I'm over that committee. So some of the great things that we are doing, well, I don't know if you know, we're going to theme Aggie Fest this year. It's named Aggie Language, as we are basing it off of slime language, Young Thug's album, if anybody is familiar with that album. So we have a very nice social media out there. Feel free to look at our social media in regards to our theme for the year, for Aggie Fest. But we're having a All-Star Edition tournament with our men's and women's basketball teams, as well as current students. We're having we call it a gym jam, but it's more of a social in our gym in the evening. We're also having some Zumba classes. We're also doing aux cord wars. If anybody's familiar with that, student interaction, you figure out the song, what the best song is in a war style competition. We're also having a big carnival. We do a carnival every year for the last day of Aggie Fest with an artist. I cannot release the name of that artist yet until we release it on our socials. But Aggie Fest is going to be great. And once again, Aggie Fest is a smaller version of Homecoming. Homecoming is every October. Aggie Fest is every April.
Kiana, there was a question about gospel choir being considered a student org.
Yes, we have the award-winning North Carolina A&T Gospel Choir. Yes, they are actually more of a departmental organization under the Office of Leadership and Civic Engagement, but we work with gospel choir a lot. They sing the national anthem at our basketball games. My student organization, Student University Activities Board, has done a few programs with them. Last year, we did an event called Better Days. It was more of a gospel explosion where we let our gospel choir sing different songs, and we did a big, huge recording for it. They also open at the Homecoming Gospel Concert. So our gospel choir is on and popping, but they are more of a divisional departmental group. But it's still someone that you're able to go to the activities fair that we have every fall and every spring, go up to their table and hear more information about the gospel choir. So they're in an entity where it's not necessarily a student org because you have to audition and be selected to be in the choir. However, they're still out there doing all of the rest of the things that student organizations do.
Also saw a question about how do we get into the student success programs. If you are interested in the Aggie Success Academy, I'm the program coordinator for that program. If you go to, we have an application on our website, but it is primarily for North Carolina residents. So we'll be sending out applications to all North Carolina residents who are incoming freshmen, traditional incoming freshmen. So if you are interested and you are a North Carolina resident, you'll be receiving that application soon, and then you can follow up with the application on our website. And the Gear Up for Success, you would have to have been a Gear Up for Success member in high school. And then for the Marching for Success program, that's for the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. So you will have to be a band student to be a part of that organization. However, with our mentoring programs, we do have the Sisters Female Mentoring Program. I think they're about to start recruiting for their organization. So if you're interested in that, that is for first year female students. And then Mr. Basu, he is over the Aggie Men, the mentoring program. So I didn't know if you wanted to share how you can be involved, how students can be involved in that.
Well, it's really quite simple. If you are a freshman and a male and you end up living in Cooper Residence Hall, you are automatically enrolled into Aggie Men, right? And then for the first year experience mentoring program, we're just calling it Aggie Mentoring. Once you move on campus, you will basically receive a series of emails that will invite you to join the program if that's something that you want to do. And I would say the Big Sister, Big Brother program, if you mean specifically through that organization, there's not a chapter of that on campus. But if you want the mentorship, then, we do have a couple of different options for it.
I did see something for Greek life. Are there fees you have to pay before getting accepted into a sorority? The only fee that I know of is a Get the Gist ticket does have a cost. It is $10 per ticket for a Get the Gist. And once again, the gist is the Greek information session at T. So that is a formality that you have to pay. And then after that is when you start to do your research from what you heard from the Get the Gist and start going to the different programs of the organizations that you're interested in. And then the organization fees come next. So there are no other fees before you're able to be approached by the organization to join the org. It's just the Get the Gist ticket fee.
I saw a question about internship. Thank you. I saw a question about internships. Would that be through our department or the Career Center? We do have the Office of Career Services, and they are the department you will want to go to for and seek information about internships. However, we do teach our students how to sign up for Handshake, and Handshake is, I guess it's similar to LinkedIn if I had to compare it to something, but students can use that platform to learn about different internships based on your major, GPA, et cetera. So once you start in the fall, you'll have access to Handshake and get that information that way.
I see another Aggie Fest question. Is Aggie Fest open to admitted students? Yes, it is A&T students only. We do not allow our community to attend Aggie Fest like we allow our community to attend homecoming. We just want to make sure that this is a Spirit Aggie Pride filled experience in the spring semester. So it's A&T students only.
I see a question about a LLC that is going to come through the Department of Housing and Residence Life, right? So unfortunately, nobody on this call can really speak to that. And you apply for housing also by going through the Housing and Residence Life section of the ANC website.
In regards to the question about the Office of Career Services, and I saw a question regarding honors, they have a session today in the virtual open house. So once you leave us today, they will be doing a session as well together at 3 p.m. It's the Office of Career Services and the honors program. All right, I believe our panelists, they have done a superb job of answering your great questions today. So I believe they've gotten through them all, either by responding to you in the chat or verbally. So I really believe they've done a great job in answering your questions. Should you have additional questions, certainly feel free to reach out. They've given you information, 1891 Connect, the Center for Academic Excellence. We are all, as Aggies, here to support you and to ensure your success at North Carolina A&T, and that's academically and from a social perspective.